Hello darts fans, Dan Dawson in association with the Sportsman here in Birmingham. That behind me is the NIA, home of night 13 of the Premier League darts. Last week we had another frustrating one where we accurately predicted a lot of what was going to happen in each of the games, and yet we only came away with a 50% success rate on our bets. We said that Mensur Suljovic hadn't been playing particularly well, and going into Cardiff he went in for another low 90s average. Now I thought that would be enough for Mensur Suljovic to go down to Daryl Gurney. I thought that Gurney would just have too much, but it was really disappointing from Superchin, and it meant that Mensur did run out with the win, a very vital one in the race for the top 4 spots. Now we did say that Cross would hit more 180s than Michael van Gerwen, because Cross had been playing fantastically, and MVG sometimes doesn't hit that many maximums. Now the world number 1 only hit 1 in that game, and Cross could still not beat that mark, so our bet at 6-5 didn't come in there either. We did say that Michael Smith versus Gerwen Price was going to be a tight game, too difficult to call a winner, and it proved to be so. But we said back over 12.5 legs, and at 5-all in a race to 8, we already knew that bet had come in long before the match finished. It turned out that Michael Smith could have won it, perhaps should have won it, so we were right to bet on that market rather than an outcome, because it was very, very tricky, could have gone either way. The final game as well, I do not know why the bookmakers priced it up as they did. I said the nat bet of the night was James Wade to beat Peter Wright. I could see no other option, and at 13-10 it was an obvious bet to back the machine against Snakebite, and he romped home with an 8-2 victory. Now if we keep on predicting with that degree of accuracy how these games are going to go, it's only a bit of luck that we need to actually see our accumulator come in and get all our bets in on the night. So here in Birmingham on Thursday night we've got 4 more games for you. Where are we going to look? We'll take them in order. Mensur Suljovic takes on Michael Smith. Now Michael Smith and Peter Wright, they're out of the playoff hunt. They're not going to make it to the O2, and surely that means that they're going to lack a little bit of focus, a little bit of killer instinct. It's something that Michael Smith has been lacking all the way through this year. Despite playing really well, he's not getting his just rewards, and quite frankly, it's getting on top of him. You saw it at the weekend on the European Tour when he got beaten 6-0, and I think that is just an indication that Michael Smith is really struggling with his confidence. He doesn't feel he's got what he deserves from some very good displays so far this year in various competitions. And Mensur looked pretty decent at the weekend. He was only beaten in the last leg decided by Rob Cross on the European Tour, and it was 105 average from Rob Cross. I think that Mensur is looking sharper out of these two and more likely to hit the winning double. And when Mensur is 7-5 with Bet365, he's the underdog in this game. I think you've got to look at him. The head-to-head stats don't bear out the fact that Mensur is the underdog. He's won 9 games and only lost 6 to Michael Smith. I think that's the value bet in this one, and Mensur Suljovic will make it back-to-back wins and potentially not secure his spot in the playoffs, but certainly take a big step towards it if he can overcome Michael Smith in the opening game of the night. Gerwen Price will take on Rob Cross, and Rob Cross, he has been brilliant in almost every single game this year in all competitions, and yet it's Michael van Gerwen he just has capitulated against, not once but twice in the last few days. Not only that heavy defeat in the Premier League last week, where he really did let us down by not hitting any 180s at all, but he also did the same at the weekend. He'd averaged 111, he'd averaged 105, and then he goes up against Michael van Gerwen, and it's another display that just seems to lack any belief that voltage can overturn the world number 1. Now, some people will be saying, well, how can you back him? He's just been really, really poor against MVG twice in a matter of days. But against everybody else, he's not poor. He's incredible. He is arguably the most consistent performer in the world in terms of the averages this year. And he's looking at odds of 10-11 to beat Gerwen Price. Now, I am tempted by 2-1. It's a decent value bet for Gerwen Price. But Rob Cross has just been too good, and I think he's going to resume his normal business. He's going to carry on throwing his big ton-plus averages, and I think that's going to be too much for Gerwen Price, and Rob Cross will get back on track in his hunt for the top spot in the Premier League. The third game will see Peter Wright, the man who is seemingly doomed not to make it to the Premier League finals on the O2. It's just not gone well for him at all. You're looking at Peter Wright, who's only won 2. He's not won in his last 7 Premier League outings. It was a heavy defeat to James Wade last week. And Daryl Gurney, I think, at 6-5 is the value bet in this. It seems a sensible one. Daryl Gurney has looked pretty sharp over the last few weeks, that performance against Mensur last week aside. and Peter Wright, it's an alarming slide, and I don't know what he does to try and stop it. He wasn't particularly good at the weekend either. He went out in his first game to Ross Smith, whereas Daryl Gurney was only beaten by some real top quality stuff in his defeat at the weekend on the European Tour. So Daryl Gurney at 6-5, Rob Cross at 10-11, and Mensur Suljovic at 7-5. Brings us to the final game of the night. Now, we tipped James Wade to beat Michael van Gerwen when they met in the Premier League last time. I tipped them up with the leg handicap as well, if you weren't feeling quite bold enough to back the 6-1. And he is playing magnificently. He's won a whole load of titles this year. James Wade is the reigning European champion as well, and he's been brilliant in the Premier League. But you don't beat Michael van Gerwen twice in a row, not very often anyway. So I think that MVG, even though he's at 4-9, he's won the vast majority of his games against anybody, and particularly against James Wade. 34 victories. Not many people have beaten the machine that many times. I know that James Wade is playing excellently. I know that he beat Van Gerwen last time out. I just do not think that he's going to do the double over the best player on the planet. That means that the race to the playoffs will be wide open, but it also means that Michael van Gerwen will maintain his charge towards the top of the league and the £25,000 bonus. If you put all of those in an accumulator, Michael van Gerwen, Daryl Gurney, Rob Cross and Mensur Suljovic, you're looking at a 13-1 shot. It's not the biggest bet that we've had over the course of this year. We had a 25-1 accumulator come in just a few weeks ago, but I do think that Mensur Suljovic, the underdog, and the three favourites to win on the night will see that come home, and here in Birmingham you could make some money.